Hold on. Let us demystify this kind of question. This was the question I put as an exercise in one of my previous videos, but it clearly implies that it was not properly understood from the results I was getting. So in this video, I want to demystify this question, make it as simple as possible so that when you find this kind of question, you can be able to do it confidently. Again, at the end of this video, I am going to show us a way to check if the answer you've got is correct or not. Because I believe the major problem is after solving this kind of a question, you are unable to tell if your answer is correct or not. So I'll show you a simple way to check the correctness of your answer, and that will boost your confidence or help you better in solving this kind of a problem. So first of all, let us demystify this question or demystify or solve this problem. Now, the question says it took 4 men 6 hours to clear 2 plots of land. How long will it take 15 men to clear 10 plots of land if they are working at the same rate? When you have this kind of question, the first thing you do is to bring out the quantities in the question. And these quantities are men, or rather you can call them variables. They are men, hours, and plot of lands. So I'll bring them out. Men, M, time, T, and plot of lands, P. These are the three quantities. Because the quantities are more than two, it means the relationship between them is going to be a joint variation. Since it is a joint variation, we are going to start by simplifying it. We will take one of the quantity and compare it to another quantity, and take that quantity again and compare it to another quantity. Then we can now join both comparison to form the joint variation. This is what I mean. In this case, I want to take time and compare it with men. How do they relate? I'll take the time again and compare it to plot of land. What is the relationship? It doesn't matter, you must not do this. You can decide to take men and compare it to time. Take the men again and compare it to plots. You can decide to take plot and compare it to time. You take the plot again and compare it to men. So whichever way is fine. The most important thing is that when you pick this quantity, ensure that you compare them correctly. Understand how they relate so that you can do the comparison properly. That is what is very important. So in this case, I'm comparing time and men, time and plot. Now let's look at the relationship between time and men as it applies to clearing of land. If the number of men deployed to clear the piece of land is increasing, what do you think will happen to the time taken? Of course, the time taken will decrease. In other words, as the number of men clearing the land is increasing, the time taken to clear the land will be reducing. This means inverse variation. One is increasing, the other is decreasing. In mathematics, we can say that the time is inversely proportional to the number of men. Now let's come to the second one. Time and plot. How do they relate? If the number of plots you are to clear increases, obviously the time you will take to clear them will also increase. It means as the plot is increasing, the time taken to clear them is equally increasing. So we can say that the time is directly proportional to the plots. The next thing is to combine these two variations into a joint variation, and this becomes time is directly proportional to the number of plots and is inversely proportional to the number of men. From here, we solve mathematically. We change the proportionality sign to an equation sign, and it becomes T equals to Kp all over m, where K is a constant. To obtain K, we cross multiply. Kp is equals to Tm. To obtain K, we divide both sides by P, so that K is equals to Tm all over P. If we put the values in the first line into this formula, we have that K is equals to 6 for the time, 4 for men, and 2 for plots. And if you do this, 6 times 4 divided by 2 is definitely 12. So we can now establish the relationship between time, plot, and men as T equals to 12P all over M. Now back to the question. The question says 15 men clear 10 plots. How long? The time. So if we put the values here, T will be equals to 12 times 10. The number of plots is 10 divided by 15. Number of men, 15. So that 12 times 10 over 15 gives you 8. So the time taken to clear 10 plots of land by 15, for 15 men to clear 10 plots of land is definitely 8 hours. And this is the answer to the question. Now, let's check. Control. Let's check how to know if the answer is correct. And that is control. We pick this. 4 men took 6 hours to clear 2 plots. When you want to do control, then what are we looking for? We are looking for how long it will take, which is the time. When you want to do the control, what the question is asking for, keep it constant. That means the question is asking for the time, keep the time constant, and begin to compare men to plots. This is what I mean. If 8 men clears 2 plots in 6 hours, it means, if 4 men clears 2 plots in 6 hours, it means 8 men will clear 4 plots in 6 hours. It means 12 men will clear 6 plots in 6 hours. It is just direct relationship. 4 men, 2 plots. 8 men, 4 plots. 12 men, 6 plots. Definitely 16 men, 8 plots. You continue this, 20 men, 10 plots. You end here. Why do we end here? Because the question says 10 plots. So now we are at 10 plots. It means we have got to where the question is, 10 plots. So 20 men clears 10 plots in 6 hours. Now back to the question. How long will it take 15 men? If you now reduce the number of men to 15, definitely the time it will take them will increase. That means 15 men, now less than 20 men, will take 6 plus hours to clear 10 plots. 6 plus hours to clear 10 plots. Because the men has reduced from 20 to 15, it is expected that the time it will take them to do the same number of 10 plots will increase, which means that the answer you should get must be greater than 6. And from our calculation, the answer we got was 8, which means our question is about 90%. There is the probability that the answer is 90% correct. How you solve the problem still matters. In case you make the mistake somewhere or not, it also matters. But it's a clear indication that the answer must be greater than 6. So if you got an answer greater than 6, it means you are likely going to be correct. So this is a way to check the correctness of your answer. I know you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Now try this one again using this method, using this understanding, using this clarity, and see if you get the answer. And please put it in the comment section when you get the answer. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please follow our page if you have not done so, and comment on our video. Thank you for watching.